The only thing I was describing to you was that just because there's two categories, and we don't know the exact point at which this category becomes this category, doesn't mean that those two categories don't exist, or we can't define those two categories. We still
know characteristics that are okay. What is the key difference between a man and a woman?
Well, is the key difference? There's not going to be like specific key difference. I mean, I did describe the two conditions that you have to meet in order to become a woman.
You said feminine, but we just clarified.
I didn't just say feminine. That's not true. I said there's two conditions.
That's what you said.
Like, I'm just curious. Can you just repeat the two conditions I gave?
I'm so sorry. You said something. The only thing that you said was basically feminine.
No, that's not. I've said the two conditions many times. Could you just like repeat the two conditions I gave to you, just real quick?
No, I can't repeat it. Repeat it, Dave.
Okay, so the two conditions are going to be you have overwhelmingly feminine characteristics, and then you identify with those overwhelmingly feminine characteristics. I think I've made that extremely clear at this point.
Okay, and do you believe that trans women are women?
I do believe trans women are women, bro. Because I'm base.
Hey, tell us. All right, tell us what a woman is.
Yeah, a woman's just going to be somebody who has an identitarian commitment to overwhelmingly feminine traits. So there's going to be two conditions to be woman. One is that you have that identitarian commitment to feminine traits, and two is that you have overwhelmingly feminine traits.
Okay,
does a woman to you? I'm so sorry. Jeffree Star is a woman to you?
Who's Jeffree Star is going to be? Sorry, I'm not like up to date with celebrities.
Jeffree Star is like he's a man, and he's like.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you, bro. I haven't seen him. I don't know what he's like.
I can show you a photo. I think right now.
Hold on. I'm gonna go get it. Hold on.
You got one, or you can use. Okay. Do you know James Charles?
James Charles. Yeah. I know James Charles, bro. I know that guy.
Is he a woman?
No.
He's super feminine.
No, he doesn't have an identity. He does not have an.
This person here. Is this person here a woman? This is Jeffree Star.
Good question. I guess it would depend on like the intuition of like the majority of people. Maybe.
Maybe what?
Like very feminine presenting. That's basically your definition, right?
My definition was somebody has an identitarian commitment, so they identify with overwhelmingly feminine traits, and they are majority feminine.
Real quick, your definition quite literally would apply to little girls as well. I just want to point that out as well. So people who are 13 years old can be women under your definition of what a woman is.
Well, I mean, the over 18 thing was implied, but I can specify that.
No, it wasn't implied because that's not what you said.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm making it clear now if that's what you needed.
Okay, so are masculine women, are they...
Like, do you need me to specify human as well? Do I have to specify that?
No. Well, I mean, no, someone would imply homosapien.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so, are masculine women, women?
Are masculine women?
Yes.
I mean, like, definitionally, yes. Like, and when you say masculine women, there can be, like, a woman who has a masculine trait. Doesn't mean that they're majority masculine.
Well, okay,
it's just more masculine than average.
What does it mean to be overwhelmingly feminine?
Basically, just like majority feminine characteristics.
Okay, so someone who has majority masculine characteristics and they're an adult human female, are they women? Yes or no?
Are they women? I mean, no, not in that case.
Why not?
Because they wouldn't fit into the definition. Like, they categorically wouldn't be part of that definition. Like, what do you mean?
So you're tying femininity to women?
Well, I'm tying femininity to like what society perceives as like some like certain roles, as well as like secondary sexual characteristics that like women generally feel. Yeah.
But you. Yes. So you are.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the condition.
Given characteristic that you said for your definition of woman. So you're tying femininity with what a woman is.
Yep.
Why?
It's not feminine. Like, for example, like the really one famous woman wrestler. If you probably seen her face in something. She's known like for super duper masculine. She loves wearing black lipstick, black hair, black everything. But she's super duper masculine.
I haven't seen her. What's her name?
Okay. No, let's just use Jeffree Star for an example, since we already showed you him, right? Jeffree Star is unequivocally a man. I mean, he says he's a man. He's not a woman in any capacity.
Oh, okay. Well, if you didn't, okay, why didn't you tell me that?
No. Let me finish. Let me finish. Right. But under your definition of what a woman is, because he's overwhelmingly feminine.
He's not a woman. No.
You would just.
So, I mean, I made the two conditions. I made the two conditions very clear at the beginning. It was you have an identitary commitment. What were the two conditions? You identify with overwhelmingly feminine traits, and you have overwhelmingly feminine traits. There's two conditions.
What does it mean to identify with over? What does it mean to identify with feminine traits?
Well, you're asking me like what it means to identify that you're Christian. Like,
because
what?
because
you identify with the traits.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Oh wow. Okay, so if a man were to put on a wig, right, he can just say that's masculine because he doesn't identify that to be feminine.
What? I'm sorry. You're like supremely confused here.
Who's supremely confused?
You are, because I gave my conditions are very clear. So just for the audience, just in case anyone's confused here, he's making everything a little bit confusing for everybody. So I'll just clarify. The two conditions are: one, somebody who has overwhelmingly feminine characteristics, and two, somebody who identifies with those overwhelmingly feminine characteristics.
What does it mean to identify with those feminine characteristics?
What do you mean? What do you mean, like, identify with? You're asking me, like, what does it mean to identify as?
Like, can you name
you identify with that belief? Like, what?
Can you name
like, what question even is that?
What do you mean? What question is that?
Some of those feminine characteristics, because it's kind of repetitive at this point.
You want me to name the feminine characteristics?
Yeah, or you were.
Sure, I mean, like, this is going to be a combination of, like, secondary sexual characteristics, I would say, and, like, the way, like, women act and the social roles they're expected to fill in society. It's going to be probably a combination of, like, physical and then, like, social characteristics. And there's probably going to be, like, no, like, exact condition that you can, like, specify, which would, like, at which point somebody would, like, exactly become a woman or exactly become a man. But for the most part, we've got to rely on our intuitions in order to, like, figure out, like, where that threshold is. So, yeah.
Can you tell me what those feminine characteristics are?
I mean, I can give you, like, I can give you some examples. None of these are going to be, like strictly necessary, though.
Necessary for what?
To be a woman. I can give you some examples.
Exactly, so it's pointless. So the entire definition is pointless. So that's why we were
entire definition is not pointless. No,
it is pointless because we don't define woman.
Well, so just like to give the audience, or
what we were saying, it's based off what the person perceives is feminine or is not feminine, or what society deems is or isn't feminine because it's a feminine trait. You can be feminine, masculine, or androgynous, whatever the vote is, but that doesn't make you a woman. So what are the specific traits that are objectively to only women?
Okay, like, well, that's kind of how language works, right? Like, we make categories, and like how we perceive those categories is how we like define them, right? And number two, I just like to clarify some things. The question you're asking me is like, you're asking like, what's a specific condition that separates like a gradient from red to yellow? I'm like, I don't really know, but if we use our eyes and our intuition, our general senses, we can come to a pretty good agreement on like on what like this is definitely red and this is definitely yellow.
Okay, so what's a specific characteristic that's too only?
Did you like disregard everything I said about the color thing? Like, I made that very clear. There's like no specific condition, and you asked me for a specific condition. It's very weird.
Like on analogy, I'm asking a question specifically towards women, not red, blue, orange, and green. When I'm doing primary and secondary colors, I'm asking specific traits that are towards only women.
That analogy is completely understandable and very valid and absolutely valid. The only thing I was describing to you was that just because there's two categories and we don't know the exact point at which this category becomes this category doesn't mean that those two categories don't exist, or we can't define those two categories. We still can.
Characteristics that are okay. What is the key difference between a man and a woman?
Well, that's the key difference. There's not going to be like specific key difference. I mean, I did describe the two conditions that you have to meet in order to become a woman.
You said feminine, but we just clarified.
I didn't just say feminine. That's not true. I said there's two conditions.
What else did you say?
Like, I'm just curious. Can you just repeat the two conditions I gave?
I'm so sorry. You said something. The only thing that you said was basically feminine.
No, it's not. I've said the two conditions many times. Could you just like repeat the two conditions I gave to you, just real quick?
No, I can't repeat it. Repeat it, OJ.
Okay, so the two conditions are going to be you have overwhelmingly feminine characteristics, and then you identify with those overwhelmingly feminine characteristics. I've made that extremely clear at this point.
So, okay, having an identity. Okay, so I did get the identity part right. Having and identifying with feminine characteristics. Like I said, that is the only thing that you gave in your definition. So just because someone has feminine characteristics, just because someone identifies with feminine characteristics, does not mean that they're a woman. Because you have men that do that. You have women that do not identify with those feminine characteristics.
No, like definitionally, no. It's just a category error. Sorry.
Definitionally and literally in society, you have men that identify.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You have men. Wait, hold on. Let me finish. You have men that identify as feminine. You have men that present as feminine. Literally, the term femboy exists for a reason. So we're not going to say there are men that are feminine. And on top of that, you have women that do not present as feminine. Women that do not identify as feminine. They identify as masculine or androgynous. So the claim that femininity is connected to what makes a woman or what is a part of being a woman is a completely false and sexist claim. So
okay, wait. I'm sorry. What are you even contending? What are you even contending here? Wait, I'm sorry.
Wait, hold on. We're not done.
Just steamrolling. Okay, go ahead.
If you can't give me any characteristics as to what makes a woman or what a woman is, and you can't tell us the key difference between a man and a woman, that means you don't know what gender is to start with.
Okay,
because there has to be a key difference between a man and a woman in order for us to even have that claim in the first place.
So you've made quite a few points there, and I think you're a little confused. So I'm just curious, like, what are you even contesting here?
I'm attesting that a woman is a female.
Are you contesting the validity of my definition?
I just said it. Being a woman has nothing to do with femininity.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with femininity, masculinity, or androgynous. That has nothing to do with the case. So when you're saying that a woman is someone who identifies with feminine and overwhelmingly presents as feminine, that's not what a woman is.
Are you saying that your definition is like the true and objective one, and mine's like false or some shit?
Yes. Yes.
What do you think objective even means?
Factual.
No, okay. Objective means mind dependent, so it's going to be. So that's that's going to just be false. Okay. So to be completely clear, wait, you're just confused. You're just confused. There's no such thing. Wait, I'm sorry. Okay, okay, I'm sorry. So, excuse me.
Hold on, take a pause. You're telling me that objective does not mean factual.
Objective means mind independent.
It does not mean factual.
It means mind independent.
Mind dependent. Okay, so when I say H2O is water, is that factual?
H2O is water, is that factual? Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Okay, is that objective as well?
Yeah, because it's mind independent. That's true, independent of the mind.
What does independent to the mind mean to you?
It means that if our minds didn't exist, that thing would still be true.
What?
It means if our minds didn't exist, that thing would still be true.
So basically, you're saying that if it exists in the mind, that it's true? Or
no, no. What?
I'm confused.
You're just so confused here. Okay. Wait. I'm sorry. Okay. I just want to get back on track here because you're just way off in space. What?
No. We're on track.
Okay.
Okay. Wait, mind.
There's no such. Okay, when we're talking about definitions in language, there's like going to be no such thing as like an objective definition here, or an objective definition of woman. These like categories of man, woman, whatever.
So
these are like quite literally socially constructed, as is like every other word. Correct. So when I say this is my definition of woman, what I'm doing.
I'm sorry. I'm done.
They go blowing out so hard. I was. Subscribe.